Hey guys, it's Josh with RoofHero.com. This is a video interview of one of our best customers. He's been live with us for about 6 months. His name's John with the Silvernail project out of Houston, Texas. So here's his analytics, and we'll discuss this in detail on the video and like how he's doing so well. But basically, he's spent just shy of 9,000 with us over the last 6 months, generating directly 150K in sales with an additional 1 to 120 in referrals is what he estimated on the interview. Um, if you're a roofer and you're seeing this, go to roofhero.com/apply, click join a pro in the top right, and you can be live on our system in about 5 minutes. You can pause or go live at any time. You set your bid price. There are no contracts or cancellation fees. This is where John is. So he's got a 30-mile radius around Houston. And yeah, he's got a lot of good things to say about Roof Hero. None of this was scripted. I had a few questions like prepared to ask him to get into the nitty gritty of how he's doing so well, what makes his company and our platform different. So hope you get a lot of value out of the video. I'm doing this intro because during the first 2 minutes of the call, there was an audio issue with the recording. So I used the Google Hangouts embedded recording instead. So we'll just jump right in, and you're not missing much context in the beginning. He was basically introducing his company. He's in Houston. He's been in roofing for a while. He started out in sales. And yeah, we'll jump in and listen to him tell his story. So thanks for watching.
Also, but it wasn't just roofing that I was doing at that company. I was doing windows, doors, gutters, attic insulation, and everything like that. So I just fell in love with the roofing portion of it. But I guess to your question, my principles on what roofing has become for me aligns with when I was in the military. I served in the United States Marine Corps for 5 years.
Very cool.
I deployed to Afghanistan and a couple other places, and the U.S. Marines are considered first line of defense for our nation, and that's how I treat roofs. They're the first line of defense for anybody's homes, and it just goes with that same principle.
Yeah, it's awesome. What'd you do in the Marines?
I was in the infantry, so
Wow. Okay.
I
Yeah, that's legit.
actually qualified for every job available in every branch, and I decided to go Marine Corps infantry, right? Because I'm
Yeah,
a smart guy
that's
like
awesome.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I
No,
wanted.
that's super honorable. Yeah, that's great. We have there's a couple of guys that are on our team that are former Air Force Special Tactics. I don't know if you got a chance to work like PJs or CCTs if you're familiar with them, but we
Familiar,
got
but
some vets on staff too.
never worked, with them because they're kind of secret.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know that about you. So okay, so and how long have you been running Silvernail?
The Silvernail project, we've been running it officially with these verticals that we have with roofing being our main vertical for just under 2 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so yeah, that gives me a better picture of kind of where you're coming from. So I've got some questions here. Let me pull up what's next here. So in terms of quality checks, like you have the military background, like super high degree of honor and just like doing the right thing by people. When you're actually like, let's say you get like a lead from any source, like what's your process to reaching out and then scheduling an appointment? Like how do you communicate to the homeowner?
Well, I one of the reasons why I love using Roof Hero is because it takes away one of the other factors from getting leads, and that's door knocking, right? Um,
Yeah.
I think door knocking for roofing could be good for some companies. Other companies, like with where I have my principles on, it's not as good for me because that's not the quality that I'm looking for. So it helps also that Roof Hero has a good quality in their leads that are given to me. So I reach out to them. I call them. I just have a quick conversation with them, just figuring out. I usually ask them, what's the reason for inquiring for your roof? And then just let them talk. Let them tell you, well, it's old. I'm having problems. I'm thinking about selling my house, or we had a storm and thinking about doing an insurance claim. So then from there, I don't ever like to say I'm going to give you a free estimate because it's not. That's more of a sales kind of thing to say to someone.
Yeah.
I say I let them know instead. I say if you don't mind, I'd love to just stop by, get some photos, get a scope of work, and provide you with a more detailed and accurate quote for your roof. And
Yeah.
usually at that time, they're more susceptible to being okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, when do you want to come over? Well, listen, I'm available at 4 p.m. tomorrow. How does that
Yeah.
work? And
Yeah.
offer
So
them the time.
yeah, so it sounds like your folks. This is something that like I had before I got into software. I did roofing sales for I think a similar company to what you're talking about. Like they'd start really high, drop down low, same day close. Like, do you do it like what's your in-house like sales pitch? Is it like here's your flat price? I want to figure out what your project is. Here's what it's going to cost. There's no like haggling. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I do not haggle prices. I set the price based on what I feel that their roof is going to be worth that it is. But I also offer a fair and competitive price. I have done my work. I'm certified with GAF. So my prices that I give are at the lowest that I can offer them for a price.
Yeah.
Um, and there's more that I do with a roof than just the re-roof. I actually bought into a company called Go Nano. So we have our own franchise of something called Go Nano. It's nanotechnology. It's a spray that nanoparticles penetrate the asphalt shingles down to a molecular level, and they bind with the asphalt molecules to make the roof hydrophobic, UV resistant, stronger, and reduce oxidation over a long period of time. So I apply those also to my roofs. They can
To
have
every
them.
roof, or is it like an add-on?
I try not to keep it as an or put it as an add-on, but if it's a make it
Yeah.
or break it on the roof, then I'll take it off for them. But
Yeah.
I'm also not charging them money. I have principles that I don't believe in breaking people's banks and charging a ridiculous amount of money that's not necessary. You
Yeah.
know, it, it it just hurts homeowners, and I'm
Yeah.
always looking out for their best interest. Always. I never compromise on that. I don't haggle because I believe haggling can be, not always, can be a dishonest approach
Yeah.
to sales.
Yeah.
Because if they
Yeah.
were to
That's
buy a
good stuff.
home and then I said, I was worrying about the price, and then they said, oh, well, let me call someone and let me check something. Oh, I can come down
Yeah.
$1,000. And I'm going to be like, why didn't you just offer me that to begin with?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that there is a disruption going on like right now where, if you want to buy a house, you go on Zillow. You can see what the price is going to be. If you want to go buy a car, you can buy it online with Carvana. Like CarMax has had the flat pricing model for a long time too.
Mhm.
And I think that's what we're trying to help, kind of advance in roofing is transparent pricing up front. And I think because your sales process is the way it is, that's part of the reason you're doing so well. Like it's just honest, straight up, like soft but deliberate approach on like, hey, sounds like you need a roof. Like, let me come out and get you an exact price. I know you saw the price online, but yeah, okay, that's good stuff.
I
So,
provide all the
yeah,
homeowners with all information that they need for the roof. I go into detail beyond what most people would go into detail with, meaning I provide my satellite measurements to them
mhm,
with all the materials listed out on it. Also, all of their warranties and everything are provided to them, and I give them a folder that they keep, and they're going to have their price that they keep. Some roofing companies, they like to, hand write a price down and then with their estimate, and then if it's a first time whatever deal, like you can get this,
yeah,
you're not going to get this tomorrow, and
right,
things like that. I'm like, that's dishonest. And then they'll take the price away, or whichever, and they'll take all the information away, and I don't know. I think that's super dishonest, also. But everything that I do is completely transparent. People don't know a lot about roofing and the different parts of the roof and a roofing system.
yep,
I give them that knowledge while I'm there. I'm credited with people responding to me saying they didn't have any questions whenever I left, that I answered everything that they need to know, and they know a lot more about roofs after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. So when you're closing, when the deals come through, so I see on your stats, I think it's something like 59 leads, and then as of like an hour ago, when you messaged me, it's like nine sales, I think, out of the 59. So about a 15% lead to close rate.
Mhm.
Are these deals typically closing like while you're at the house, or is it like you're leaving the folder and then okay, you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, they're most of the time, I don't say, not 100% of the time they're closed right there at the house. They're closed majority of the times at the house because they're relieved. They like the price. They know that I'm going to take care of them, and they approve the price, and we start working on the schedule and the color and everything like that. But
Yeah.
the only reason why I could have a certain amount of leads, like a 59 with 9 sales, or whichever it is. I look at a lot of numbers, but I don't pay attention to some numbers like that, or even, the ratios of how much it's cost, like how much revenue versus how much the lead costs. I take care of the customer and I do what's right for them, and those numbers, they just happen. Money
Yeah.
comes whenever you focus
Yeah.
on the person. And
Yeah, this is like what every roofer needs to hear. So I'm gonna share my screen so that people can see this. Like I've got your stats pulled up. Give me one second. So all right, yeah. So this is, I think, I don't remember the exact date that you came on board. This goes back 6 months in time to July of 25, but you've got just under $150,000 in sales from the RoofHero platform, spending 8,900, and that makes your cost of marketing 6%. So most roofing companies, like in the, I would say, sub $10 million range, they're ecstatic if that number's at 10%. So this is like, you are by far like an anomaly in terms of like return on spend with us. The bigger companies will go as high as 16%, but that's why I was so excited to talk to you, because I'm like seeing these reports come through. I get emailed every time guys report sales, and it's like, man, John sold another lead. Like, how is he doing this? So I wanted to dig into your process. Yeah, that's
appreciate
helpful.
that. But also to mention, I was kind of off and on. I turned the lead on and then off and then on and
Yeah,
off again throughout the process, because I was once October hit too, it slows down.
yeah,
I was really getting my footing in the roofing industry, about that July timeframe, June, July timeframe of last year. Uh, I had done several roofs, but I was doing more windows and doors and flooring and full scale remodeling, in
yeah.
kitchens and stuff up until that. But roofing, it just started taking off, and people are responding to it a little better. But another thing is, so that wasn't just going straight with every month with a certain amount of leads. I was turning them off and on, just trying to balance things. And before I decided this year that I'm gonna hit the ground, running, because I have my base set up now. I'm like all in for it. But I also got several referrals from those leads too. Um,
From the
that
RoofHero leads.
from the RoofHero leads, referrals
Nice. That's
from
awesome.
people that they know that have also installed roofs before. Like
Yeah,
there was one RoofHero lead yielded 2 more roofs out of it that I installed, and
that's
then
awesome.
another one yielded 1 more roof out of that, but also with a solar panel removal and reinstallation with the roof package on top of it. So it
Yeah,
was a
that's
good.
fantastic.
Mhm. And
Yeah,
they
that's good
also
stuff.
add sales to my other verticals. Once I'm in, roofing is probably the most Google search thing here in Houston area in Texas
Yep.
for home, renovations, because roofs take a beating here. And people don't really know. And there's hundreds of roofing companies in Houston. So, the competition is pretty hard. So you have to be on top of your game when you're in front of people, because they could just go get another bid. Um, but I've also gotten window sales, siding sales, gutter sales, and you name it, out of these things, other services.
Just
For
from
people.
RoofHero leads
Yeah.
specifically.
Mhm.
Man, that's awesome. If you had to put like a ballpark number on all of the additional sales you've got besides what's reflected in the 150, any idea what that would be?
Yeah, have an idea, about $100,000 more. Actually, no, take that back. Probably about 100 and probably closer to 125, $130,000
Wow.
more.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that, I
so,
mean, so it gets a little tricky on attribution at that point, right? Because it's like, okay, RoofHero got you in the door with the, in a specific area, then it's really your business that's creating the referrals. But there is some like overlap. Like, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That makes me really pumped. All right. So, okay, on the next question. So, where else do you buy your leads? Do you just buy from RoofHero? Do you buy from Angi, Home Advisor, like Home Buddy, any of those guys?
so I used to kind of get them from multiple places. Like I tried Angie's List. I don't want to like down another company by doing things, but they didn't provide me good quality leads, and we paid a lot of money for that. But growing pains. Tried this another company called Modernize, but they were, and when I was doing their live transfer calls, and they uh, guest wouldn't tell the customer that they were going to be live calling me or something, and it always
Yeah.
started off with a really awkward conversation. Not only
Yeah.
that, but they're giving them those customers to at least three other roofing companies, and
Yeah.
so it was just kind of wishy-washy. Plus, you had to answer the phone no matter like what. They would still charge you if you didn't answer the phone, if you were busy or whatnot. I had to take my phone into the bathroom with me because of that.
Yeah, I
It seemed
remember
like
we talked about this. Yeah, I remember you saying that last time we talked on the phone. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, I mean
so I
that's
use Google Verify,
unfortunately.
and I've gotten a bigger online presence using SEOs and posting and advertising a little bit. And Google Verified also gets me some leads. It used to be called Google Guaranteed, um,
Yeah,
but now it's Google Verified. So I get some leads through there as well. But my roofing leads are mainly coming from Roof Hero and referrals.
nice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and just curious on the Angie model, like when I was running a roofing company back in like 2017, they were on, it was basically like a 12-month contract basis where you paid monthly. Is that still how they have it set up?
Yeah, they had it set up like that. I actually had a. It took like it took us several months to get our money back because we decided we didn't want to do it within like the 3 day period. And in Texas, we have a 3 day cancellation period. It's state law, um, and we literally the day after we had called it, okay, we don't want to do this, and so it took a long time to like get refunded that and get off a contract and things like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the contract, those contract stuff, it's we're moving into a day and age where technology and stuff is replacing a lot of things that are now considered old school, and contracts like that are getting beat out because people want to have the freedom to make their own decision on where
yeah,
their money is going if something that isn't working for that time. And I think there's some loyalty aspect to it, like with Roof Hero. If I have to turn off the leads for a month because you know what, something happened that month, I had to, uh, turn it down a notch or to bring it back, or I needed to recover something. It allows me to do so, but allows me to turn it back on when I'm ready. And there's a loyalty factor with that. Like, hey, this has been good to me, and I can do that when I want, and you know,
yep,
and I've had success, so why wouldn't I
yeah.
keep using it?
Yeah, and just for folks that don't know, like we basically like what he's talking about is we have a toggle. You just click the toggle, and what happens is in the background is Silvernail's removed from the auction in Houston, and it also triggers our Google Ads API, and it just shuts off that location. Like it all happens in a second. There's no contracts. Like it's you just turn it on when you want, turn it off when you want. So
Yeah, I've used
yeah,
it.
that's yeah, we spent a lot of time. When we first started Roof Hero, we did it with very little money, and we because of that, a big reason that influenced this was like, okay, well, if we don't have any money to risk with Google, like we have to charge a subscription. So when we started, it wasn't like a 12-month, it was like month to month, but it was still a subscription. So you'd have to fork out $2,000 a month. But when we got enough data and a little bit more money, we're like, okay, we definitely need to swap to pay per lead because it gives contractors flexibility. You can set your bid, you can really control your volume. Like, it just gives you guys a lot more tools. So it's good to be reassured that was the right decision to swap over to pay per lead.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you had kind of started talking about how, like, at least with the modernized warm transfer and the Angi, how, it didn't really work out, but like getting into like specifics, like this is a big question that I have for all the roofers that do well with us is like, how does a RoofHero lead feel different knowing that they've already seen your price online? Like, how does that change the conversation when you're talking with the homeowner, when you give them a call?
If you're transparent with your prices and you're transparent with your materials and what you do, it doesn't cause any friction at all in it. Even though there's like a good, better, best option out there, and I can do that, I usually just stick with one option and it falls between those. But it also gives them a rough estimate from it. And I think that there's always going to be people that are just searching online to try to find out information because roofing prices are all over the place. It doesn't depend on the quality of material or the material that they're using. It usually depends on that company's overhead. And a lot of these companies have a huge amount of overhead. So they have to charge a ton. And that goes adversely towards the homeowner. But when the pricing is upfront, some people are just searching to try to find a quick, what is a ballpark range of what it would cost to replace my roof. They're inquiring for a certain reason, right? So if you can get a hold of them and just get a conversation going, it'll work out. But overall, it helps tremendously, actually, especially because I look for quality leads, people that are serious about their inquiry. And if they're serious and they get that transparent pricing through RoofHero, it makes my job a little bit easier when I go to their house. I know what the ballpark that's already in their head.
Yeah, cool. That's good to hear. How about from the homeowner's perspective, just on interacting with them when they've been on the site? When you're either on the phone or when you're talking with them on, in person, do they ever like cross-reference the RoofHero quote against yours? Like, do they bring it up once they're talking to you, or is it just kind of like they kind of forget about it and just start focusing on what you have to offer?
No, I bring it up before they do.
Okay.
The last thing that they see from me is how much a roof is going to cost. And by the time I go over everything and what I'm doing and all the warranties that they're getting, their measurements, it goes pretty quickly after that. But I usually bring it up with it. And I said, and I bring it up in the phone call too. That RoofHero, you inquired on RoofHero and, they referred you to me. So I usually bring up the prices to them.
Yeah. Okay. Does it feel like they like trust the site? Like when they're picking up the phone, when you're calling them, are they like, do they sound like skittish, or are they like, this was cool, or like, what's the kind of vibe that you sense?
You're always going to have your outliers of the people that inquire, but they don't have the means to pay for the roof at that moment, or something is going on with their life where they're just inquiring about a price. But the people that are serious about it, no, they're really trusting. They're welcoming. They visit my website because it's attached to me. Like those are the best. Like they visit the website, they know who we are ahead of time, and when they do that, and then I show up, I just build that trust even more. But they seem very trusting in it, actually, because I think because it has the I guess basic roof measurements, right? And they're not always, they're really actually pretty close for the most part, but you can get down to the fine details and the waste factors and stuff like that later. But with that, and then the good, better, best, and then how it's worded to them about how this is not 100% accurate until until you get your estimate from the roofing. That honesty up front makes people more trusting to it, and I have not gotten any bad vibes at all from people that have used it.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Not one thing of bad vibes, actually.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I looked at your stats on the 9 sales and I compared your actual sales price that you reported to what RoofHero showed. And I think for the 7 out of 8, I didn't run it on the ninth because it came in just before this call, but it was like 7 out of 8 were in the range of the good, better, best. So
Mhm.
just at least from the ones you're reporting sold, it looks like it's, good enough to, build trust and give the homeowner some information up front so they can feel more comfortable, moving forward with you.
Mhm.
Um, on the deals you sell, are they typically cash, finance, or insurance, mix between all of them?
Yeah, I mix between all of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it helps like if they're looking to do an insurance claim that I'm well versed in insurance claims and can walk them through the process. And I haven't lost an insurance claim yet. I'm knocking wood.
Yeah.
So uh, yeah, and then a lot of them are starting to prepare when they see the good, better, best from Roof Hero. They're starting to prepare too from where they need to take the money from. Where can I get the money from? Do I need to
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess
finance?
that's not something I've thought about is they have some time between when they're seeing the price and then when you show up and they have that information already, they can maybe get their own financing or move money around if they need to, if they have cash.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think that's pretty much all the questions I had, John. This was super helpful. Do you have any questions for me or any feedback? We've built the Roof Hero platform, getting direct feedback from great roofers like you. So, any feedback, any other features you would want to see us like build out to help your business?
No, I mean, I think I could probably give some feedback, but it'd be on like I try to think from your shoes and how you would run Roof Hero, and you can't be focused on the needs of one roofing company versus the other. It's kind of more the roofing companies have to adapt to how things are with it, but no, because you have the options on how they're planning on paying for it. Maybe a time frame that they'd like to have it done. Like
Yeah, yeah, we've thought about that. In the last week, we added the how do you plan on paying for it, cash, finance, or insurance, and then an optional calendar if they want to like schedule like, hey, and we frame it as saying, we you have to have somebody come out in person to verify and get you a final price. Is there a time that works? And they can skip it. About 50% of people are scheduling upfront before even seeing the price. So we're always kind of tweaking and trying to balance intent, making sure you guys are getting the volume you need and making sure that it has to be a useful tool for the homeowner. So we're always trying to balance, both sides of the needs of the market. So
Mhm.
yeah, cool. Well,
What
this is, yeah,
platform do you use for your measurements? I know you do satellite measurements.
yeah, it's in-house. So it started as a science experiment that I did after grad school. So when I got into roofing, I did sales for a year and a half. I worked for 2 companies. One that was like the mega company. They did like over 30 million, and it was like started 30,000, dropped to 15, called the manager. That's how I was like raised in the roofing industry. I didn't know any better. And then I was staying in like this is going way back in 2016. So my wife, then girlfriend's roommate's parents lived in Great Falls, Virginia. He's like a very wealthy orthopedic surgeon, and they had like a detached garage with an apartment over it. So it was like super like $5 million houses, and I was just like this scrub selling roofs out of this garage. And I noticed there was this truck from Shiner Roofing, not my company, the company that I eventually went to go work for, that was across, and they were doing the roof on this $5 million house. And I was like, our company never gets these houses. Like, what do these rich people know that like I'm missing? And I went and eventually worked for Shiner, and they do the process the way you do it, which is like take care of the customer, like be as competitively priced as you can, don't haggle, like just give a flat number up front. And so then eventually I left Shiner, and that's how I built my roofing company and did that for 4 years. And I've been thinking and iterating on Roof Hero since about 2019. But that's a long-winded answer to your question. But yeah, it's
No,
in-house. Like it's a machine learning model that we own, and that's how we're measuring it in about 300 milliseconds. So it's good enough to get interesting like information in front of the homeowner and get them a real price so that they can feel more comfortable with a large purchase. So
yeah, that's super smart to do. It gives them instant. like an instant measurement, instant good, better, best prices, or I should go the opposite way with my hands, good, better, best, instead of going.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it gives them that like quickly to do it, because most satellite measurements, like what I use, I'm like all through GAF, like, so I do their quick measure. Takes
Yep.
20-30 minutes to get a measurement back, and it has the details and everything like that. So having that, that's the smart way to do it, to get that in front of them. Waste factor on complex roofs and things like that kind of add a little bit, or I love it whenever it's like maybe a little bit over, because then I can
right.
then
Gives you some wiggle room. Yeah.
I can be like, look at me, I'm the hero. I give you money off.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. All right,
but
cool.
I do my
Well,
best to honor. I also make it a point to honor those prices too, that are on there.
Yeah.
So if there's something that, I mean, for whatever reason, those measurements weren't on, or exactly like what mine were are a little bit more, because I also use that product, and so instead of charging them more, I will honor within that price range for their home. And I'm only able to do that because I keep on stock material. I keep my material. I don't go and return it. I keep a lot of it just in case there's storms that happen. I mean, we've had 3 tornadoes in my area in the last couple of years, or year and a half or something like that, like right in my area, where I can throw some roof material in my truck and go to where that storm was affected the most. And help just willingly just volunteer to help people patch up parts of the roof just for free, and leave them a business card or something like that, because ultimately it's small businesses' responsibility to help their community. And when something like that happens around you or your community, especially roofing companies, you need to get up, go do something, go help. Get out there, be for the people, not for yourself. So
yeah, that's good stuff. Well, it sounds like you're doing great work, John. I appreciate you taking the time today. I got so pumped when you texted me. I'm gonna be late because I'm selling a RoofHero lead. So like, no better way to start the meeting. How can people reach out to you if they want to work with you for roofing or other construction projects?
Oh, I mean, easy. You can look up my website, the silvernailproject.com, or just Google search the Silvernail Project, and I'll pop right up. And you can call me from there, text me from there, or you can call me directly. My number is, can I say my number on here? It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
My number is 281-223-2862. And you can reach out to me directly there. You can text or call, whichever. And actually, I'm getting a voicemail right now from a RoofHero lead that was sent to me this morning that I called him up a message on. So I gotta.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I'll let you jump so you can serve the customer. But keep up the great work. I really appreciate your partnership and all your feedback, John. And blessings to you. And thanks for your time.
Thanks. Can I mention one more thing? I forgot.
Yeah, of course.
Also, I wanted to say this has given me a great opportunity to be exposed to more people and get some more publicity and things like that. Not only have I been hosted and interviewed for Andy Garcia's All Access with Andy Garcia's TV show. So I'll be on that whenever it airs. Like probably 5 minutes a segment on Nat Geo or CNN or Discovery or something like that.
That's great.
But also the Houston Chronicle. I will be competing this year amongst a handful of other roofing companies for Best of the Best Roofers by the Houston Chronicle. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I'm in it to win it. So, I mean, if any other roofing company hears this from Houston, like, you got your hands full. I got a lot of supporters. If you ain't first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
There you go. Yeah. All right, John. Thank you, sir. All right, take care. Good luck with the lead.
Thank you very much, Josh, and thank you for this interview. And what you're doing, I wanted to reinforce, is awesome. And I think it is the next phase in this roofing industry that's been stagnant for years on how they're getting getting more leads, customers to sales, everything like that, you're taking that a step up, and it's very much, mixes well with my business, and moving this industry forward with newer ways to do these processes. So
Yeah. Thank you
yeah,
for saying that. That's good to hear. Yeah, I appreciate that, John.
yeah, no,
All right.
thank you very much. Have a good one,
Cool.
Josh.
All right. Take care. All right. Bye.
Bye.